Hey guys, what's happening? This is Forgo Nation. Today we're going to do an ABX run with Namor using a damage proc. Now this is the team that I'm going to be using here, guys. We're going to use Hulk and Red Hulk for their team up bonus. It's all attack 6% and attack speed by 5%. And we're going to be using Red Hulk for that 60% increase to fire damage. Now let's take a look at my Namor. Now obviously guys, I got my Namor to tier 3. He has 37,140 physical attack. He has max attack speed, 40% crit rate, more or less. He has 193 critical damage, almost max ignore defense, close enough, and he has max skill cooldown. All of his gears are at 25, and all I have on him right now is just 6-star physical attack Urus. The reason for that, guys, I haven't finished this build, is because I'm going to put a CTP of Rage on him, but I just wanted to show you guys what he could do with a CTP of Energy, and just give you a rotation using a damage proc. And we have a couple ignore defense Urus to max out that ignore defense. Now let's take a look at his tier 3 here. Now the tier 3, you know, the text has changed as far as equipping this uniform compared to what it was with the base kit, but all of it's still there. He still gets all the same effects, so nothing has changed, guys. And you know, all defense down, they decrease all resistances, remove all debuffs, ignore target dodge rate. The damage accumulation that is based on how much damage you deal, which is freaking awesome. And the 10-second invincibility. Now, his tier 3 with a damage proc is pretty awkward, guys. It's very awkward because it does quite a bit of damage at the very beginning, then he does a little slash in the middle, and then he does good damage at the end. Well, because the damage proc is, you know, just one attack, and it lasts for 5 seconds, it's very awkward trying to, you know, keep the damage proc where it belongs. It's really funky, man. He's really kind of a pain in the rear to play with a damage proc, I gotta tell you guys. But it can be done, and I do think it's possible getting a max score. But I also think you're gonna have, you know, 70% physical attack on your cards, maybe to 80% physical attack on your cards. You're gonna have a max build, and you're gonna have some very good gameplay. So those are some things to think about. Rage is definitely going to be the way to go, especially since, you know, he's going to be useful on Combat Hero Day, Combat Villain Day, and No Restriction Day, so this would be a very good candidate if you have a CTP of Rage to put one on. Now, as far as the skills, this guard hit is really his safe haven against the Beast on Combat Villain Day. The Beast has silence, and yeah, guys, you're pretty screwed. Takes away your skills. You can't use your skills when you're in silence, and that really sucks. But the guard hit will protect you against it, so you want to keep this up the entire time you're facing the Beast in your rotation. If you don't have it up, you know, you could always use the 3, which is an iframe, and you could always use the 5, which is also a partial iframe, and gives you this all-attack buff. Now let's preview the skill, and we'll kind of run through the rotation here, and then we'll do a little slow-mo a little bit later after we finish the build. Okay, so what you want to do, guys, is you want to start with the 4, cancel into the 5. Get your damage proc on the 5, let that thing play completely out, then hit your 2, then your 1, then your 3. Now you're going to run around the Beast a little bit, then you're going to hit your 4, and hopefully get your damage proc on that 4. Then hit your 2, then your 1, and then your 3. Now there should be about 2 to 1 seconds left on the countdown of your damage proc. When it reaches 1 second, hit your 4, cancel into the 5, he's going to zigzag, boom, then hit your tier 3. He'll go from one side to the other side. Once he goes to the other side, hit your tier 3. And hopefully you'll get the damage proc at the very beginning of that tier 3 and get some of the damage at the end of the tier 3. And then after the tier 3, depending on where the damage proc is, sometimes I'll hit the 3, and then I'll hit the 4, and then the 5, and get the damage proc back on the 5. Or if the damage proc's off a little bit, if I think the countdown's, you know, if it's ready to proc at any given moment, then I'll just hit the 4, cancel into the 5 after the tier 3, and get that damage proc back on the 5. It's a little tricky, guys. It takes a lot of practice. I spent hours practicing this, so, you know that you're not alone, you know, if it's pretty difficult for you. But you can definitely get it done, guys. He is definitely the meta. He is freaking awesome. Even with a proc, although it is way more difficult with a damage proc. Way more difficult, guys. Leaps and bounds, but in a way, it makes it fun for me. I don't know about you guys. And he has a fully awakened Power of Angry Hulk set. He has the CTP of Energy with a 200% damage proc. And he has a rare uniform. And the reason it's at rare is because I don't have any more bios. So yeah, man, gonna have to buy a bio sub if I want to finish him out. But here's the thing. You really don't need to, guys. If you have a CTP of Rage on him, you don't need to finish him. He's pretty damn strong. Even if it was a normal ranked uni, he's still going to destroy Molten Man, even with the damage proc, if properly played. Now let's take a look at his options here. So he gets Shuri for the first option. He gets Wolverine for the next option. Outdated uniform, but definitely a good uniform to have, to Mythic, because it gives it this extra physical attack. And the next uniform is Hulk, which is freaking amazing, guys. Good uniform. I don't know how many people would want it now, since the in-game uni is, you know, definitely a whole lot better. And the Ragnarok uni only gives you a CTP of a refinement, which for PvE people is pretty much useless unless you're going to put it on like some low tier character that you're trying to get something done in Shadowland. I guess could be useful in AC, but most people don't really care about CTPs of refinement. So guys, what we're going to do is we're going to do a little slow-mo action to try to help you guys guide throw you and show you how to do the ABX with them and how you time your damage procs. And then we're going to do the actual ABX run. And just for a little something else, I'm actually recording this on a new microphone. Really trying to upgrade the video quality, guys, and I've changed some settings in my computer as far as to hopefully get better graphics on my PC. A lot of you guys seem to like the PC gameplay, so I'm gonna try to stick with that and try to keep making videos with that. So let me know how this video turns out, if my voice sounds too loud, or if it's too low, or if I need to tweak it a little bit. And let's get into the action and let's rock and roll. Okay guys, so we're going to switch to Namor, and you want to start with that 4 to get that 8-hit guard hit, and then go straight into the 5. Now there the proc hit a little early. You actually want it on the 5, but that's okay. You know, let that 5 play out, and then you're going to hit the 2, then the 1, and then the 3. There's 1 second left on that proc. Now it's gone. You hit the 3. We're going to run around the beast just a little bit. There we go. Run around a little bit. Now we're going to hit our guard hit again. Now the proc's there's the proc. We're going to hit our 2, then our 1, then our 3 again. Now notice, when there's about 1 second left on that damage proc, you're going to hit your 4, then your 5. He's going to slice from one side to the other side. There you go, and then you're going to hit the tier 3. And at the very beginning of that tier 3, you'll see there's the proc, it engaged. He's going to run through his motions. There we go. Pretty freaking cool watching this in slow-mo, I do have to say. Loving the hell out of it. Proc still engaged here because we haven't switched to another attack. Now we're going to hit our 3. We're going to hit our 4. And then we're going to hit our 5 and get the damage proc on the 5. Get all that residual damage from the 4 and the 3. Let that play completely out till the 5's finished. Then you're going to go right back into the original rotation. You're going to go right back into the 2. Then the 1. Then the 3. And now you're going to hit the 4 again. That damage proc will hopefully engage. We run around the beast a little bit. Every time you go back to the 4 after the tier 3, you're going to run around the beast, hit the 4. And then you're going to go right back into your 2, 1, 3, 5, guys. So let's get into the actual ABX run. So here we go. Now I want you guys just to pay attention to where those procs land and how I'm doing this. So we're just going to switch, and we're going to start with that 4, 5 and try to get the damage proc on the 5. There it actually hit on the 4, but sometimes that happens. We're going to hit the 2, the 1, and then the 3. We're going to run around the beast a little bit, and then we're going to hit that 4. Hopefully get the damage proc on the 4. There it is. We hit the 2, the 1, then the 3. Now we're going to hit the 4, cancel on the 5. He's going to zigzag, then hit the tier 3, and there's the proc again. The way it's going to work, guys, is you're going to, the 4, 5, you're going to hit the damage proc on the 5 the first rotation. You're going to hit the damage proc on the 4 the next rotation. And then on the third rotation, you're going to hit the damage proc on the tier 3. And then after the tier 3, you're going to try to get the damage proc back on the 5. And you're just rotating every rotation like that. You can see what I'm doing. There's a clear set rotation that I am doing here. I mean, I'm sticking with the same movements. And there, that freaking proc came on the 4. So this run you're seeing, guys, I actually wasn't optimal. I think I could do even better than what this is showing. But because of time and because of, you know, life, I just couldn't do that for you. But this was a pretty good run, a pretty good score. Really happy with it. But it definitely could be better. You guys see up there in the top right hand corner, I got almost 2.7 million, which is pretty insane, guys. Pretty insane for a character that's using the CTP of Energy, doesn't quite have a max build, and with 55% physical attack on my cards. Pretty insane. Now there, my proc landed on my 5, so I didn't hit my tier 3. And we hit the 2, 1, 3, and then we hit the 4, and then we went into the tier 3. Sometimes you got to do that. You know, sometimes I play things by feel, depending where the proc's at. I might change the rotation just slightly, but then go back into the original rotation afterwards. With Namor, that's kind of what you have to do. It's kind of, unfortunately, I mean, there is a set rotation, but you really got to, and see, now we're back into the original rotation that I was showing you. But sometimes I do tweak it a little bit, and sometimes I will just hit the 4, then the tier 3. But ideally, you want to hit that 5th skill before your tier 3 so you can get that attack buff. That's what you really want. But sometimes, you know, you're trying to keep constant damage. You don't want to waste any damage procs, and sometimes it's best just to keep it going, keep doing damage. But yeah, he is a tricky bastard to play here, guys. I'm not gonna lie, he is very tricky. This took a lot of practice. It was I spent a lot of time on this one, a lot of time. Especially trying to get used to the PC controller and get used to that, all that setup, and yeah, it's pretty rough. But man, he is strong. I'm loving him. I think he's freaking fantastic. So cool, even with the SFX animation off. So cool to watch his animations. Freaking loving him. And as long as you keep that 4, guys, keep doing that 4, you will not get silenced. That guard will protect you. So guys, let me know how the quality turned out in this video and how my voice sounds. If it sounds too loud, if it's too quiet, you know, please let me know about that. And let me know what you think about Namor, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.